guys, and welcome to Learn Free Music Theory, lesson number 49. One more to go. After this one, of course. But this is the last actual thing where we introduce new material. So after this, the exam is next. Oh, so you better be ready. This is the final exam for all of rudiments coming up. Okay, so in this lesson we're going to do the good old dreaded music terms list. And I say it's dreaded. This time it's dreaded for me because a lot of these terms, they're not just all in Italian, you've got other terms in there. And these level 3 ones, basically level 1 they give you all the basic ones that you see all the time. Level 2, you're getting more but that you see sometimes but a little bit less often. And then level 3, it's the more obscure terms that you don't see very often. And many times I haven't even seen them once in a piece that I've played. I mean, I've seen some of them, but not all of them. So I think my pronunciation is probably going to be pretty bad in this lesson. So yeah, let's just laugh at me. It's going to be bad because I don't speak a lot of these languages, so I'm just going to be kind of saying it by the seat of my pants and see how it sounds. So I just wanted to say that as a kind of like a disclaimer that I don't think I know how to pronounce all of these, properly. I probably don't. But they're going to be spelt right and they're going to have the right definition, as far as I know, from the material that I've gotten. So, and also my musical term dictionary that I have. So anyway, you should probably get one of those too. They're pretty useful if you go on higher in music because even the terms that I'm going to be showing you, these are just the required terms, but there's actually even more. There's just so many musical terms, it's crazy. So anyway, let's start with the first group. Okay, so the first group, I'm actually dividing them into languages. So we're going to do French first, then we're going to do German, and then we're going to do Italian, which has the most terms in it. So get ready to laugh because this is going to be pretty interesting. I really don't know the real correct way to pronounce these, so I'll just stumble my way through. But they should be spelled correctly. So anyway, okay. So French terms. So léger. Oh man, light or lightly. I really have no idea. Léger, léger. Maybe it's léger, I don't know. Okay, lentement. I don't know if that's right. Slowly. Lentiment. Lentement. I don't know. Moderere? Moderere? Or, I have no idea. Anyway, at a moderate tempo. Okay, movement. That's what it looks, kind of looks like the English movement, but it's probably slightly differently pronounced, but I don't really know the difference. So it means tempo or motion, which I think most people who know English could have guessed that. Weit, or that kind of sounds German, so maybe like, well, it doesn't, I don't know German, but Viet, or something, I don't know, fast. I've actually never seen any of these in any piece I've played. So I've never really heard my teacher tell me them myself. I just had to study them out of a book when I went into my exam, and I never heard the examiner say them because you get marked by paper. So that's why I can't pronounce them, because if my teacher before hadn't told me what they were, I wouldn't know what they are either. And so yeah, and I don't know French, so which might sound weird because I'm Canadian. But I've lived most of my life in Western Canada, and also I was homeschooled, and so I just kind of like weaseled my way out of learning French because I was already learning music, so I was just like, I'm already learning another language, Mom. And anyway, I didn't want to learn French, so. But I don't have anything against French people or the language even. I was just a lazy kid. I didn't, to me it's just like, well, I never speak French, so why do I need to learn it? Kind of thing. So yeah, anyway, okay, so let's move along. So write these down and remember them, okay? So go back and forth and use the memorizing techniques that you did in the other two terms lists. Okay, so the next one is the German terms. Okay, so here's the next one. Oh, gulp. These look scary to me. I'm the type of person that I don't like to do something or I don't like to teach something or even talk about it unless I really know how to know what I'm doing. And like, I mean, I know that these are spelt right, at least according to the book they are. You know, the term dictionary or whatever that I'm using, the music thing. Yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce these, so that scares me. Anyway, so let's try this. So, German terms. Okay, Ausdrucksstaval. Ausdrucksstaval. I don't know. Okay, so it's Ausdrucksvoll. I can't believe, when I was doing this way back when, you know, I decided that I was going to know how to spell them, but, you know, I learned how to spell all of these and I knew what they meant and everything, but I can honestly tell you that I've forgotten probably like 90% of these terms because, you know, I learned them years back and then now I've never used them since. So anyway, so I guess you guys can do the same thing because I'm gonna pick 10 terms and you guys gotta know. Anyway, I'm so mean. Alright, so expressively is this Oxtrastaval or whatever one. So that's supposedly what it means. Then Buiget, maybe. Agitated or excited. Bueget, B-E-W-E-G-T. I'll just kind of maybe repeat what it says in case you can't read it or something. So B and then space M-O-L-L, L-L, like as in llama, L as in llama. And so it says B flat minor, that's what that one's supposed to be. Then dur is major key, and then H-dur is B major. Oh man, this is so crazy. This is such a gong show one. Okay, langsam, slowly. I think that's right. It looks like an easy one to pronounce, langsam. Anyway, that's L-A-N-G-S-A-M. Okay, then we have Lebhaft. I think that's probably not right, but oh well. So it's L-E-B-H-A-F-T, and then that equals lively. Okay. Massing, I think, or Massing, I don't know. M-A-S-S-I-G. Moderately or moderate. Okay. And then moll, or M-O-L-L, is minor key. Okay. And it actually, I think it just means minor, and then the bracket here, that's what it was saying in my dictionary, is like, okay, this is, you know, it's referring to the minor key, not like a minor in a mine shaft or anything like that. Okay, I'm sure that's probably a completely different word because, you know, anyway. Okay, rughig, R-U-H-I-G, and then it's supposed to mean quietly. Okay, seer, I don't know, S-E-H-R, and then it's supposed to mean very. And then schnell, that sounds cool, schnell or something, S-C-H-N-E-L-L, fast or quick. Okay? Man, that was pretty nuts. Okay, so let's move along. Now we have the Italian terms left. So make sure to write these down, memorize each one, at least try to match them. I mean, you don't have to learn how to spell them, I guess, but at least be able to match them. Okay? So that you know which one goes with which. Alright, so next, let's do Italian. Okay guys, next up we've got some Italian terms. So there's more than this that I could fit on the board. I'm actually kind of happy that we're back to Italian terms because for some reason they seem to be easier for me to read at least. Okay, so Italian terms. The top one here, I've actually seen this quite a bit, is ad libitum. But I'm not totally sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but I think that's pretty close. So what it actually means is at the liberty of the performer. So you'll see this sometimes over places where the composer is trying to tell you that you can do this according to however you want to. So that it's like a place that they're giving you freedom, okay? Whether it might be how you're going to do the dynamics or if you're going to do pedal or so many different things, okay? Alright, now next up we've got agito. Oh yeah, agito, something like that, agito. And it means agitated, which actually sounds very similar to the English. Okay, so again, that's pretty self-explanatory. You just need to play agitatedly. Now, algerando, which is broadening or becoming slower. That would actually be a pretty fitting term for the end of a Baroque piece of music, like a Bach piece, because, or even a lot of pieces near the end, yeah, it sounds better, especially in some pieces, not all of them. It sounds better if you slow down and broaden out a little bit, and it's like you're slowing down and getting bigger. So it's kind of a cool term. Okay, next one. This is actually a string term, so it's for string instruments only, and it's called arco. And that reminds me of in SimCity 2000 when you had the arcos, and you could have all the things, and then they had all the crime in them, and you're like, build all these police stations to handle the crime. Anyway. Resume bowing after pizzicato. Pizzicato or something like that? I can't pronounce that either. As you can tell, if it's a term that I don't use, I don't really know how to pronounce it that well. Okay, anyway, so this term actually is explained later. I'll just give you a little heads up right now though, it's when instead of bowing the strings, you pluck them. Okay? Okay, so the next one is attacca. And it means proceed without a break. So it's like you're going straight to the next part. So it could be, maybe at the end of a first movement sonata, and then you're going to go into the next part right away. Or one part where it's slowing down, and then you quickly go to the next part. So it's a rushed feeling. Without a break, just go right to the next part. So that's A-T-T-A-C-A. Okay, next up we have Komodo or Komodo. Komodo. That reminds me of Komodo Dragon. But anyway, basically it's at a comfortable, easy tempo. Okay? So you could think comfortable. Anyway, then we have Konfuku, and it means with fire. Okay? So like a big fire burning in your playing. Con gracia, with grace. Obviously remember from our old terms here, the con it means with, right? So that's where the with is coming from, is the con, but we already know con is with anyway. So you can just memorize those with that, and then it'll help you go through it. Now this, with sordino, with the mute. I actually don't know what they're talking about. I'm going to assume and I'm going to guess. At least I'm honest when I tell you that I don't know what they're talking about. I've never seen this term used anywhere. And in the dictionary, it doesn't show you what, it just tells you this. It just tells you, hey, with the mute. And you're like, what mute? Anyway, so I imagine it's probably some sort of mute for the instrument. So some pianos have mutes in the middle pedal. It's called the practice pedal, and it lowers a piece of felt to kind of mute the instrument. So maybe that could be what it's talking about, but I'm not really sure. Okay, next one, dolent, it means sadly, so play it in a sad mood, of course, so D-O-L-E-N-T-E, okay, and then we have Giocoso, maybe? I don't know, I have no idea with that one. So it's G-I-O-C-O-S-O, okay? And it means humorously. Okay, next one, we have grandioso. Grandioso, yeah, that's good, I think. And it means, you guessed it, grandly. Oh! Okay, so that's these. Write them down if you haven't already. Pause the video, and we're going to the next section now. Okay guys, so for the next one, we've got the next part written out. After this we're going to have another board of terms too. Okay, so first one up at the top is largamente. So it means broadly, okay? So it's spelled L-A-R-G-A-M-E-N-T-E. Okay, the next one, that little tick is actually an apostrophe, so it's an L, so it's L. esteso. I think it's like el esteso tempo. I'm kind of guessing though. I'll just be honest. Okay, so that means at the same speed. Okay? And then the next one is martelliato. Or martellato. Martellato. Okay? Hammered or strong. Okay, so you probably, you play it probably quite strong. I could imagine in some pieces where you're going to be playing chords or you're playing some notes very powerfully, right? So it's that strong, like, very heavy feeling. Okay, next one. Mesto. So it's M-E-S-T-O. That's sadly or mournfully, okay? Because we had another term that was sadly, and this one, it's with a mournful kind of touch, I guess. So it's a different sort of sad. Next one, pesante, weighty with emphasis. So it's, again, it probably sounds a lot like martello, martellato. Oh man. Yeah, these terms, I don't use them as much. You can definitely tell, hey? Like the other ones, I knew them like the back of my hand. I use those ones all the time, but these ones are quite, I use some of these actually, that primo, secondo, and some of the other ones I actually use them, but some of these is just like, I haven't even looked at them since I finished my exam a while back. Okay, so pesant, I think that's how you spell it, or not spell it, say it. That is how it's spelled. It's P-E-S-A-N-T-E. Weighty with emphasis, okay? Next one, pizzicato. It means pluck the string, okay, instead of bowing, which I explained before. So it's P-I-Z-Z-I-C-A-T-O. And for those of you Americans, I'll just say P-I-Z-Z-I-C-A-T-O. What? Anyway, okay, next one. Primo. Now, primo, you'll see this, I've seen it so many times, and it's at the start of a duet. So you have a duet, and the top part is called the primo part, and it means first, so it's the upper part of a duet, okay? And also secondo, that's the lower part, and that's the lower part of the duet as well. So the primo part usually plays the higher parts, you know, the soprano and all that stuff. You're going to be playing the higher, like, pitched notes, and the secondo plays the lower, like the bass and stuff like that, okay? So moving down from primo, we've got ritenuto, okay, ritenuto, yeah, ritenuto, yep, there we go. I've decided that's how I'm going to pronounce it. So it's R-I-T-E-N-O-U-T-O. Suddenly, slower, or held back. So it'd be like you're moving along, I guess. I've never seen this, so you'd probably be like dun 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 dun. So it's like a real sudden slower, or maybe like dun 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 dun, kind of like that kind of a feeling. Yeah, I'm just, I was thinking horses, and then suddenly it's like someone shoots them and they're like, oh, like with a tranquilizer, and they like suddenly, oh, really slowing down, and then, you know, they're all like, oh, I'm so slow now. Anyway, next up, scherzando, which is what I was just doing, is acting playfully. So scherzando means playful, playfully. And actually there are some pieces called scherzos, and it actually ties into this because a scherzo is actually sort of like a joke. It's supposed to be like a playful, joking kind of a piece. Okay, so we've got secondo next, and we already did that one. So we'll just move down, and the next one is simplice. So it's S-E-M-P-L-I-C-E, and simply, okay? And then the bottom one here is sforzando, which I've seen this a billion times, so many times, almost all the time. This is so common. So sforzando, it's SF in your music, or SFZ, and it's usually like just above or below or in between the notes that you're supposed to play, and it means suddenly strong on a single note or chord, and it's actually a lot like an accent. So we've covered accents before, so it's pretty much the same thing as an accent, but a different way to write it out. but it's essentially the same idea, is that you're getting really strong in that one area. Okay? All right, so that's this, but so let's move along to the next one. If you haven't written this out already, do it now. Pause the video, and we get out of the way. Okay, let's go to the next one. And so for our last board here, we've got simile, which means continue in the same manner. I've actually seen that one a lot of times. And generally you'll see it where, especially in piano, you'll see pedal marks, and then it'll go for about like maybe 3, 4, 5 bars, and then all of a sudden you'll just see simile. And what it means is just continue adding pedal for the rest of the piece. It's sort of like the lazy way of not putting pedal in for the entire piece. So anyway, so that's simile. So basically you're going to continue doing something repetitive over a long time. Next, sonaro, and then it means sonorously, which kind of is an interesting definition. If you don't know what that means, look it up, because I don't know what it means, and I've never seen it. Anyway, I was thinking of looking it up, but I'm like, it's getting late, and I don't really want to bother, like, look at in the dictionary and try to find it, like an English dictionary. So I don't know what that actually means. I've never heard that word before. Okay, next one is sostenuto, and that means sustained, and I see that one a lot too. Sostenuto is like when they want you to hold a note for a very long time. Like it's not wanting to let go of that note. Okay? Next one, sotto voce, is soft, or it's like a whisper, or like under your breath. It's like, hello, how are you? Can you hear me right now? If you can, then the mic is at a good level. Anyway, if you couldn't hear me there, it's just because I was whispering and the mic didn't pick it up. And if you did, cool. Now, next one is, by the way, those are two words, by the way. It's S-O-T-T-O, and then space, and then V-O-C-E. Okay? Next we have strepitoso. Never seen that one either. And it means loud or noisy. Okay? Or like boisterous or big and, you know, in your face. Obnoxious maybe even. Anyway, that one's kind of self-explanatory. Next one is stringendo, which means sort of like pressing faster and faster. It's like an accelerando, where you're getting faster and faster and accelerating in tempo. Next one, subito. I've seen that one a lot. All the time I see it. Subito means suddenly. So it's usually used in conjunction with another word like subito piano or subito forte or subito, you know, accelerando, something like that. It means that they want it to be more sudden, right? Obviously. So if you see subito piano, it means quickly drop down to a piano, or subito forte, quickly bring up to forte tempo dynamic. So that's where you usually see subito. And then sel ponticello, on the bridge, that's for strings, by the way, the bridge of the violin. So that's what it's referring to. Is I'm sure it'd probably be used in conjunction with something else, but I'm not really that intense in the violin, and I don't know exactly where that would be used, so I'll just try not to give you guys a wrong idea there. That's what it means, and if you're a violin player, then you probably know a bit more about it than I do. Okay, next one, tacet, or tacet. It's T-A-C-E-T. It means be silent. I think everyone knows what that would be. You know, when your parents are like, be quiet, you! Or something. Yeah. Anyway. Next one. Tutti. It's T-U-T-T-I. So it's three T's in the word. T-U-T-T-I. And it means all performers are to play, or all together. Okay? So it's like when everyone is playing at the same time. Okay? If you have a big group of people, it'd be like when everyone joins in and starts, when everyone plays. So it could be either be in the beginning, you know, a couple people start and then now, okay, all together, or it could be like the piece is winding down and then everyone comes back together for the finish, or other parts, right? Next one, vivo, lively. Volta means time, but it's usually used in conjunction with another thing. So like prima volta would mean first time, and you know, seconda volta would be second time, and so you could be switching back and forth between two different metronome speeds. So, you know, two different, I think I already explained it, metronome speeds basically. Yeah, I've recorded the last 12 videos in the last week, so if I'm making some weird comments and repeating myself, I think my brain is fried. So, but yeah, I have a nice everything's working and I can do recording right now, so that's what I'm trying to do as much as I can and get this thing finished off. Okay, so next one, volti subito, which would mean turn page quickly or suddenly, right? So I guess it's a warning that you need to quickly turn the page, or it could be used for page turners. I've never actually seen it before, so other than in my theory when I was having to do it. But other than that, you know, it's just a lot of different terms, but yeah. Anyway, okay, so that leads us to the conclusion of all the terms that you have to know. Look, isn't it a fun little list? I know you're probably so excited to learn it. Just like I was like, oh, all these terms, oh, I'm gonna cry. No, I have to learn them all. But then, yeah. Anyway, so it'll be good. On the bright side, what is good about memorizing these all quickly is, think of it as just like going to the gym for your brain, right? You're going to learn all these things and memorize them and then try to do them in the next video. Not all of them, of course. I'm just going to pick 10. And I might pick, you know, the Italian side or the German or French side, and then you have to be able to write down the other one. Or I might pick the one on this side where the definition is, or the term is, and then you have to write me the definition that goes with it. Just like before. But anyway, I guess I don't really have any homework for you because this whole lesson has been homework basically, and it's memorize all these different things. So I'm not going to do the homework time thing. I will just see you at the next video in the exam. So prepare and study for it hard. This is the final one for all of rudiments. So it'll be the end of the Learn Free Music Theory course or series. Because if I ever do harmony, it's going to be in a different course, basically. Oh look, can you hear that? Sounds like something's going on. Well, hopefully whatever it is, the people are okay. The sirens are going on. Okay, well anyway, I hope you guys are doing better than whoever is getting called to that accident. And I will see you guys in the next lesson.